All right, guys, I want to show you how to do a little bit more advanced editing here in Lightroom today. We're going to be doing this on my phone just so you can see how easy it is to do on your phone. This will all work on your Lightroom on your Chromebook or on your PC. So let's get started. First thing I want to do is come over here to the crop tool, which is this one right here. And I'm going to just go ahead and click on that. And this is going to bring up my crop box. And then here at the very top, I have the option to choose the ratio I want to crop with this tool right here. So I'm going to click on that. And in this case, I'm just going to choose custom. Make sure I actually chose custom. There we go. And this is going to allow me to just come in here and click and drag each side of my crop box individually. I want to crop out all of the cookie sheet, but not any more than I absolutely have to. So right about there looks good. And then I'll just come up and see this check mark right up here. I'm just going to click on that. And just like that, I have cropped my photo. I'm then going to go down to below that and just go to the profiles. We've already talked about these, so I'm just going to pick one real quick. I like this artistic one, so again, I'll click this check mark. And I'm going to go down below that. That's the auto button, this one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just click on that and see what Lightroom gives me. I like it. And then I'll go into the light button, and we've talked about this one before. So remember, just move these sliders back and forth until you're happy with the way it looks. There's no right number for every photo. I can't tell you what to put. Some people like a lot of contrast. Some people like a little contrast. That's entirely up to you. All I do is just move these back and forth until I see something I like. I completely ignore the numbers and I stop when I'm happy. All right, let's keep working our way down. This is the color temperature one. We're gonna get a little bit more into this one in the next video, but I'm gonna just start with these top two, which I've never done before. This first one is the temp for the white balance, and moving this to the right is going to make it more yellow or warmer. Moving it to the left is going to make it more blue or cooler. It's up to you which way you want to go. I prefer things to be a little bit warmer, but some people prefer things to be a little bit cooler. There's no right answer here. But this next one down, the tint is left is going to make things greener, right is going to make things more purple. And again, no right number here, just move it until you like the looks of it and you're happy. Vibrance and saturation, we've already talked about a little bit. Add a little more vibrance, a little more saturation, and we're good there. Let's go to the next one down. This is the texture, clarity, dehaze, and vignette. This is one of my favorite tabs right here. We can do some really cool things. I almost always add a vignette to my photos, and I always make it a darker vignette. I never do this. I hate the look of that. What I like to do is make it pretty dark, and then I like to come down here to feather, and I like to crank that all the way down to 0, because now I can really see what's going to happen with my vignette. So I'm going to change the midpoint to either bring it closer or farther away. And the roundness changes the shape of the vignette. I kind of like that right there. And I'm going to bring that in a little bit more. And I'm really happy with that. I don't worry about highlights or grain amount. I'm just going to come up now and grab my feather and bring that back up until it almost disappears. And that puts a real nice edge around my photo. And then I may come back and realize that's a little too dark. You want your vignette to be noticeable, but not too noticeable. It should be really subtle. Okay, so that's vignette, and then there's also texture, clarity, and dehaze. And all three of these add like a level of grittiness to your photo, just in different ways. This photo doesn't really have a lot of texture in it. If it did, the texture slider would enhance that. Dehaze is meant for like foggy days, but people use it a lot to kind of just add, again, just a little bit of grittiness to it. But what I really like here is the clarity slider. I will usually raise this up, and with some exceptions, lower it down. You can see lowering it down makes things softer. Raising it up makes it a little bit more gritty, and I like the looks of that. Okay, so that's all we're going to get into for this photo. You can see we made some pretty good progress. That's about what we started with, and this is what we ended up with. I'm really happy with that, and I like the way this photo looks. In the next video, I'm going to get into some even cooler stuff that we haven't seen before that I think you're really going to like.